The financial world is buzzing, and something massive is happening with silver that you need to know about. We could be on the verge of a historic price explosion, potentially sending silver soaring past $100 an ounce. And here's the kicker. At the same time, major banks are reportedly being restricted from selling physical silver. What is going on? Is this the last chance to get in before the window slams shut for good? Stick with me because we're about to uncover what the big players are doing behind the scenes and what it could mean for your wealth. For years, many of us in the silver community have been talking about a potential price breakout. We've seen the charts, we've analyzed the fundamentals, and we've heard the whispers. But now the signs are becoming impossible to ignore. We're not just talking about speculation anymore. We're seeing concrete actions from institutions that suggest a major shift is underway. Imagine a world where silver, an asset that has been suppressed for decades, finally breaks free. We're talking about a potential revaluation that could make early investors a fortune. This isn't just about making a small profit. It's about positioning yourself for a once-in-a-generation wealth transfer. The question is, are you prepared for what's coming? Let's break down the first major piece of this puzzle, the $100 silver target. Why this number? It's not just pulled out of thin air. For a long time, the gold-to-silver ratio has been a key indicator for precious metals investors. Historically, this ratio has hovered around 15 to 1, meaning it took 15 ounces of silver to buy 1 ounce of gold. Today, that ratio is closer to 80 to 1. If silver were to return to its historical average relative to gold, with gold currently around $2,300, silver's price would be over $150 an ounce. $100 in that context seems not only possible but conservative. But it's not just about historical ratios. The industrial demand for silver is absolutely exploding. Silver is a critical component in everything, from solar panels and electric vehicles to smartphones and advanced medical equipment. Unlike gold, which is mostly hoarded, silver gets used up in industrial processes. Every year, a significant portion of the silver mined is consumed and cannot be easily recovered. As the green energy transition accelerates, the demand for silver is set to go parabolic. Some analysts predict we're heading for a massive supply deficit, where demand far outstrips what can be mined. When that happens, basic economics tells us the price has only one way to go, up, and not just by a little, but by a lot. Now, let's talk about the most shocking part of this story, the rumor that major banks are being banned from selling physical silver. This is a game changer. For years, big banks have been major players in the precious metals market, often accused of manipulating prices downwards through the sale of paper silver futures contracts and other derivatives that aren't backed by physical metal. If regulators are now stepping in and telling these banks they can no longer sell physical silver to their clients, it's a seismic event. Why would they do this? There are a few compelling theories. One is that governments and central banks are quietly preparing for a monetary reset. They know the current fiat currency system is on shaky ground, and they are starting to reclassify gold and silver as real money, Tier 1 assets. By preventing big banks from selling off physical silver, they could be trying to conserve the remaining stockpiles for themselves, anticipating a future where physical metal is the ultimate store of value. It's like they know a storm is coming and they're boarding up the windows, leaving everyone else to fend for themselves. Another theory is that the physical market is already breaking. The demand for physical silver coins and bars from everyday people has been relentless. The disconnect between the paper price you see on your screen and the actual price you pay for a physical ounce of silver has been growing. Premiums are high because the supply is incredibly tight. It's possible that the banks simply don't have the physical silver to deliver on their promises anymore. Forcing them to stop selling physical metal would be a way to prevent a catastrophic default on the COMEX exchange, an event that would expose the entire paper market as a sham. Think about it from the bank's perspective. Their business model thrives on financialization, creating complex paper products they can trade in massive volumes. Dealing with physical metal is cumbersome, expensive, and difficult to scale. If they're being forced out of the physical market, it leaves a huge vacuum. Who will supply the silver that the world desperately needs? This move essentially hands the pricing power back to the physical market, back to the miners and the holders of actual metal. The days of paper contracts dictating the price of a real, tangible asset could be numbered. So what does this all mean for you, the individual investor? It means the opportunity of a lifetime might be slipping through your fingers. The period where you can easily and affordably acquire physical silver could be ending. We're talking about a closing window. Once the general public wakes up to this reality, the rush into physical silver will be like nothing we've ever seen. Premiums will skyrocket, and availability will dry up. The dealers will be sold out. You won't be able to find it, no matter how much you're willing to pay. This isn't about fear-mongering, it's about being prepared. History is filled with examples of assets that went through dramatic reevaluations. Those who saw the writing on the wall and acted early secured their family as wealth for generations. Those who waited, who dismissed the signs as noise, were left behind. We are at a similar inflection point today with silver. The combination of soaring industrial demand, a looming supply crisis, and institutional players being sidelined from the physical market creates a perfect storm for a price explosion. This isn't just about making money. It's about protecting what you have. In an environment of high inflation, geopolitical instability, and a shaky banking system, physical silver is one of the few assets that is not simultaneously someone else's liability. It's real money that has been valued for thousands of years. It's a store of wealth that sits outside the digital system, safe from bank failures or currency devaluations. If you've been on the fence about buying silver, now is the time to seriously consider your position. Do your own research, look at the evidence for yourself. Don't just take my word for it, but don't wait too long. The signs are clear, the paper games are ending, and the era of physical precious metals is dawning. The $100 silver price isn't a fantasy. It's a conservative estimate of where we could be heading, and very soon. This could be your last chance to get on board before the train leaves the station for good. Don't be the one left standing on the platform, wondering what could have been. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this information valuable, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you don't miss our future updates. The world is changing fast, and we'll be here to help you navigate it. Until next time, stay safe and stay prepared.